Righto. Alright, looks like we're all live. We're good. Signal is steady. Settings are holding. Fingers crossed that maintains to be the truth. Righto. Set live. Yep, I'm live. Okay, we're good there. Check. Yeah, we're getting a bit of a frame rate issue. Let me lower the setting down here real quick. Green lights all around, so yeah, we're looking good. Hopefully the settings I continue to screw with from earlier are all set. Alright, hello everybody, welcome to the open mic conversation about the new Horus Heresy game, the Mk.II. Now obviously the game isn't out yet, so I'm going to have another one of these, no doubt. There's another one of these open mic discussions, or my own video just dedicated to it, but, or both. Both would be good. But, yeah, I wanted to talk a little bit about the new Horus Heresy tabletop game that's coming out, and the box sets and everything that we're seeing, and basically I'm inviting predictions. You know, is everybody going to like it? Is it going to be a little short than what we're expecting? I don't know, I'm opening all perspectives. On this one, this is going to be the first open mic where I'm not going to have, like, pre-prepared, like, organized questions as much as it... Well, there's one single question I'm going to ask every time, and it's going to be a very broad question. What do you think is... what do you think of what we know about the Horus Heresy game that's coming, and what do you predict about it? So it's kind of two questions. They're very broad questions, so they invite a lot of tangents, and they invite a lot of a very open thought process, which I think will be pretty good. Now, for those who want to join in the open mic, anybody can hop in. All it's going to be is, there's a link in the description below, and I will share that same link in the chat here. Let me paste it there. And that'll lead you to my Discord server. And on that Discord server, if you want to engage in the conversation about this, by all means, please jump into a VC called Call Line. It's going to be the only visible VC underneath the category Caller Lines. It's one of the earlier ones in the chat. I'll direct you guys there if you're struggling to find it or see it. But I invite everybody to come on, and anybody and everybody, and I'll bring you guys into the hidden call I'm in right now, one at a time. And yeah, feel free to voice your thoughts about it. Are you excited for it? Are you a bit hesitant about it? You know, all thoughts are open about this particular topic. I invite everybody to come in with their full thoughts. I absolutely love hearing what people have to say. Now that's all out of the place, what are my thoughts on the new Horus Heresy game, the Mk.II Horus Heresy, if you will? That's what I've been affectionately calling it, this revival of the Horus Heresy game. I'm kind of excited for it. I know I say that a little hesitantly, but I'd say widely I'm optimistic about it. The thing is, it's hard to say. I didn't play the previous Horus Heresy tabletop. I've strictly been a 40k player. The 40k rules sets, the 40k codexes, 40k miniatures. It's pretty much been my bread and butter. But for the Horus Heresy game, the tabletop game, I've not dedicatedly collected an army for that. I've not played that. I can't speak from experience of it. But this revival has interested me in it. Has interested me in playing it. I don't know if it's exactly the same thing as 40k is, or, you know, with like some slight differences. I don't know all the details. That's why I invite people to come on and tell me them. You know, tell me the details I may or may not know. I fully welcome it, and I love to hear what you guys have to say. But yeah, for the most part, I'm optimistic. I think what helps my optimism a little bit is the big box set that's coming with it that we've seen. It appears to be of a fair price, because you're getting 2 full armies in the box set. Well, you're getting 2 full armies. So you get this box, and if you and a friend go in on it and you go halvesies, one friend can buy half of it, and the other one can buy the other. Again, 2 full armies with decent mix of units, and it's around just short of $300. At least that's what it looked like it was going to be. The transfer rate of currency. That's how much it was going to cost in USD. It's just short of $300. Somewhere around $280, $282 is what it looked like it was for, which is a lot. It's a big price tag. But for anybody who's been collecting 40K or familiar with GW's pricing, believe it or not, a box set with 2 full armies with all the works, including dice or rule set, that is... Like, I harken back to the Indominus box, which also was 2 full armies in the box set. And it came with a rule set, it came with dice, it came with measuring tools. That also is a great comparison. Now, let me pull up the Indominus box set for myself here so I can properly reference it. I know that I got the Indominus box set at in a very good discount because my local hobby store, they had one left over, and I didn't have enough money to buy it full price, but the owner liked me. So he was like, okay, I'll give you a deal on it. All right, you come in here, you buy stuff all the time, you buy paint, you buy Citadel, you're regularly in here. Okay, so out of respect for you being a loyal customer, I'll give you a discount. And he gave me, if I recall correctly, it was a 20% discount on it. So I got it 20% off its maximum cost, and I walked out of there. So I got a pretty damn good deal on it. But the Indominus box set, if we look at its native price, so the Indominus box was around $200. Now, $280 is, I believe, what I saw the Horus Heresy box set to be. Horus Heresy box set price. One moment, please. I think I see the price tag. Thank you, Spiky Bits, for not giving me the... Okay, there we go. 200, anywhere between 200 and 300. No, that's not the right thing. Yeah. So it's around $280 is the price range. Now, if I go to Games Workshop's actual store, I don't think it's up yet. I didn't see it the other day, so I'll pull it up right now just in case. Hopefully it does. It is finally listed. Ooh, Age Doctor, Donna Dons. Okay. Bring me over. Delivery to Sweden? What? No. Can I get that in American, please? Okay, so it's not... Okay, so, yep. Never mind, it's even more than I thought. I thought it was 280. It's 299. Okay, so that means this comparison's actually going to hurt it a little bit. Alright, so the new starter set for the Horus Heresy tabletop is actually $300 USD, whereas the Indominus box was a little over 200, just short of 200. Actually, I don't know. That's the thing. I still think it's a pretty good price. Because when I look at the units that are in... Well, again, it's hard to correctly say this. In the case of the Indominus box set had 2 full armies. But in both armies, the unit division wasn't exactly the same. If that makes sense. For me, I still would make the argument that $300 for... Let's see here. What do they got it broken down into the full category here? So, for a box set that has over... What looks like over 10 Marines, Has two character. Has 10 Marines on. It'll go faction by faction. There's 10 Marines on one side, easily 10 on the other. They're broken down into different scout groups. Did someone actually have? Okay, so here's the breakdown. There's 54 miniatures in the box, including 2 Praetors, 40 Mark 5 tactical Marines. Is that Mark 5? VI, yeah, it's one. No, that's Mark 6. Sorry, Mark 6 tactical Marines, a Spartan assault tank, and a Dreadnought. A Dreadnought and more. It says. So, okay, so that's what's in that one. In the Indominus box, there was okay, so let me bring that up. So in the Indominus box, there was a score for the Necrons in that box. There was a Scorpek Lord, 3 Scorpek Destroyers, 1 Overlord, a Royal Warden, Plasmancer, and 2 Cryptothralls, a Canoptic Reanimator, and 20 Warriors. It's a lot. And in the Space Marine side of things, there was a Primaris Blade Guard Ancient, a Judicar, 3 Eradicators, a Chaplain, 3 Primaris Blade Guard Veterans, a Primaris Lieutenant, Primaris Captain, 10 Assault Marines, and 3 Outrider Bikes. So if we do a side-by-side, let me pull up the spiky bits for the box set. Okay. So in the box set, there's 40 Mark 3 Marines. Mark 3. I don't know, GW's own site might have a typo then, because they say Mark 6 Tactical Marines. But this is Spiky Bits. Spiky Bits is broken it down to 40 Mark 3 Space Marines, 10 Cataphracti Terminators, a Contemptor Dreadnought characters, a Spartan, and Spartan, rulebook, and other potential accessories. Alright, so yeah, the Indominus, if you had bought everything separately, people guess it would have been around $710 for the equivalent pricing. It's Mark 6. Alright, then Spiky Bits has it wrong because they said Mark 3. Yeah. Spiky Bits, Spiky Bits not doing their job very well. But yeah, the Indominus box, if you had bought everything separate in that box, everything would have come to around $710. In the Horus Heresy box set, the total amount that the box in that would have cost us $645. So, actually no, that actually hurts my comparison now. Because the Indominus box you got for a little less than around 200, a little less than 200. And in this box, you're paying 300. And technically speaking, what's in this box is of lower value than what was in the other one. I thought this one had higher value because it's Space Marines. But no, now that I'm looking at it, yeah, that's not good. And then again, we just confirmed Spiky Bits screwed up what's in the box. So maybe they screwed up the price as well. But if their numbers are correct, I have to rescind what I said, because now that I use that comparison with the Indominus, it actually hurts it, because the Indominus box gave you 2 different armies, whereas this is 2 of the same type of army. And in that box, you got a $710 value for around $200, $210. In this box, it's $645 USD roughly for everything that's in it separately, but you're still paying around $300, or just short of $300. It's $299 if you were to pre-order it right now on GW's website for USD. So yeah, I have to rescind that. I still think the box set is a good deal in the sense that if you bought it's still a good deal in the sense of if you bought all this stuff separately, it would be twice the price. So you are basically getting half off, and you get it all in one box. So in that sense, it is a good deal self-contained. But comparatively to the Indominus box, I can't use that comparison because that comparison, if anything, hurts it significantly. So I do rescind that. But I still think it's a good deal if we just look at like the individual price tag of each individual model in this box set. And plus, again, you're getting the rule book, you're getting data sheets, you get the transfers, the measuring tools, and you also get dice on top of the 54 or so miniatures. So, and again, self-contained. It's a very good deal. So I like the box. I like the deal it offers, and I am curious about trying out the Mk.II game. Like, I didn't play the other form of the Horus Heresy Crusades game. I don't know. As far as I'm concerned, I'm interested. But I'm curious to get all y'all's take. I am curious to get some other voices other than my own on this one. Oh, so far, we've had no takers. Huh. While we wait for anybody who's willing to hop in and have a conversation, let me pull up something real quick. How you doing, James Mackin? How you doing, mother? Having a good day? Yeah, I'm just looking everything over. Yep, but, oh, I guess everybody didn't want to talk about this one. Oh, share the link again. I guess I didn't need to. Yeah, just eyeballing it. Looks like a good deal. Allegiance, Loyalist, Trader. That breaks down. Yeah, so right now on GW's website, for sale, they got pretty much all the Primarchs. Doing alright, picked up some secondhand Mark IV to do Isvan 5 with the front. Nice, nice. That sounds fun. The full Isvan 5? Really? Damn. That's ambitious. I can imagine the price tag for everything you need. Although I'm assuming you probably already collected quite a few Marines that would fit for that. But yeah, on the website, if we look at, if we just pull up, yep. If I just pulling up GW's website about what's available to buy and pre-order already for the new Horus Heresy game. On the trader side of things, they got all the Primarchs for sale. They got Mortarion pre-Heresy. Well, during Heresy, I should say. Before Mutation. They got Angron. They got Conrad Kurz. And these look like they're all the Forge World like resin models. So they're pretty pricey. Each one is $114.50 USD. That is pricey. But, yep, they got all the Primarchs for sale, for pre-order. Lorgar, Primarch of the Word Bearers. You got Magnus, Alfarius. Yeah, all the traders are there. Yeah, I'm trying to load up the full list of trader options. Emperor's Children and Iron Hands. Let's see. Yeah, they got special weapons upgrade set, heavy weapons upgrade set. The website's giving me trouble. Yeah, so you're only doing the 2 armies. That's still pretty good, though. Well, what's the point values? Well, I guess again, not having played the Horus Heresy game, I don't know how it goes by armies. I'm assuming there's point values. Safely. Seeing people thinking the Forge World Primarchs are brand new sculpts has been funny. Yeah, People fall for that shit quite easily, I've noticed. I apologize for any, like, buffering or disconnects. Yeah. There's been some weird going on with that today. And I've screwed around with the stream settings a lot. So as far as I could tell, it's not my settings. There's still something weird going on with my local internet service. So I apologize. The buffers should be few and far between. Just over 2K to get Fulgrim and Ferris dueling. Nice. Yeah, but to be fair to the people who are falling for that, they're the same people who probably never gone to Forge World's website and have never even looked into Forge World past knowing it exists. And plus, they're probably newer 40K fans / Warhammer fans, which quite a few people became new fans during late 8th and early 9th edition. So I'm not gonna be too much of a jackass about that. It's like, okay, yeah, y'all are summer children to this shit. I get it. You knew. But yeah, these are all the Forge World models, and I recognize them. I've perused them. I've thought about buying all of them before. Not healthy, by the way. Probably shouldn't do that. I've wanted to. I've been tempted. How you doing, Calcul? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah, they're also... Okay, so finally loaded. So on their website, they're also offering for traders, they're offering pretty much every Legion, Trader Legion dice, which I'm assuming when I check the Loyalist tab, it's going to be the same. But there's new Legion of dice, Legion dice for Emperor's Children, Iron Warriors, Night Lords, World Eaters, Death Guard, Thousand Sons, Sons of Horus, Word Bearers, and Alpha Legion. Oh, they even got the individual... Okay, I do got a point. The greed on these bitches. Just the transfer sheets for like for Legion iconography and stuff is $35 a transfer sheet. Really? That's extreme. That's extreme. That's over the top. That's exceedingly extreme. Okay. Legion Drop Pod, you got Azek Araman, Legion Scout Squads, and they're already out of stock of the individual Mark III tactical squads. Their Deimos Pattern Rhino is out of stock. Horus is already out of stock. Wow, that was fast. Wow, that was fast. He's only out for pre-order too, and he's out of stock. He's $123 by himself. And he's out of stock, and that's the Forge World model. Sweet Jesus, yeah. The Mark VI Tactical Squad. That's Mark IV. Mark IV Tactical Squad is out of stock. So is the Kratos Heavy Assault Tank. The Horus Heresy. Horus Heresy Fervent Trader collection. That's out of stock. Holy shit. Alright, so yeah, that's a lot. Alright, so that's just Trader. Let me check Loyalists. Alright, so Loyalists. Yep, they got all the Forge World, of the Primarchs there as well. We've got Lionel L. Johnson, Primarch of the Dark Angels. He's on there. Jagatai Khan, Primarch of the White Scars. He is there. Lehman Rus, Rogel Dawn, Sanguinius. Pharos Manus, Robot Gilliman. Vulcan, Corvus Corax, and that's all the Loyalists. Yeah, but are people genuinely falling? How would you say it's a lot of people who think these are new models? A lot of people were bulk buying the pre-orders. Oh, apparently. I'll see if I can pick some boxes up when I have more money at my local hobby store. See if I might get another deal if I luck out. If not, I got in-store credit. I can save a little bit of money. I might cheat and 3D print a couple of them all. That's all I'm saying. The power of 3D printing. Yeah, and they got dice for each of the Loyalist Legions as well. White Scars, Space Wolves, Imperial Fist, Blood Angels, Iron Hands, Ultramarines. I would buy those dice just to throw them in the trash. Salamanders and Raven God. And of course, each of the transfer sheets are all $35 for a little piece of paper. Okay. Legion drop pod still for sale. Fafnir Ran is also still purchasable. Legion Scout Squad and Dark Angels dice are there as well. Why are they separated from the rest of them in terms of listing? And they're out of stock for the Committed Loyalist collection. Dominion Zephan. Daimos Pattern Rhino. That's still out. Mark III Tactical Squad. Mark IV Tactical Squad. Both are out. And people sold out fucking quick, didn't they? Difficult to say if it's a lot of people, but I've seen more than one screenshot going around. Jesus. People, look up Forge World once in your lives. And actually look through it. Those Primarchs have been available for purchase for years. And to be honest, I don't know if I'd ever buy the Forge... Because isn't Forge World all Citadel Finecast? So, yeah, I don't think I'd ever get their Primarch models. I don't know. If I heard that the print-offs were pretty good, I probably would. But just eyeballing them, I could probably 3D print something better. Just saying. Vulcan Primarch of the Salamanders Legion. I do find it fitting that every other Primarch is like standing in the middle of a battlefield with like dead enemies around them. And then there's Gilliman. And then there's Gilliman, who's standing on a marble floor next to a marble pillar. All refined and clean. And he's just like, attack for me! I find that very fitting. That's accurate. That's accurate. Corvus Korok's fucking stabbing some Sons of Horus and like flying around being a badass. Vulcan's got his hammer ready to bring it down on some unlucky son of a bitch. You got Ferrus Manus just swinging around that hammer is. And you got Gilliman standing on a nice marble floor, nice and clean, nice and well taken care of, and also just a gentle place. Why is Rogel Dorn $142? What the fuck? Okay, so what? Alright, so Lionel L. Johnson is 152. Sanguinius is 152. Jagatai Khan is 144. Russ is 133. Rogel Dorn is 142. And then you get to Ferris and it's like $114.50. Then we go back up to 123 with Gilliman. So Gilliman is the same price as fucking Horus is. I don't know if I agree with that. Vulcan's 114 again. Corvus Corax is 133. What is with this pricing of the Loyalist Primarchs, dude? It's all over the fucking place. This is weird pricing, man. Sanguinius and Lionel are all the fucking exponential cost. Jesus. Shasso 1000, what's up? Man, this would be so hype if TTS was still around. Texas Beachway. I mean, they're still around. They just don't do what they did before anymore, unfortunately. I mean, yeah. And anyway, open mic is still available. If nobody wants to come on, I guess we'll call it there. That's weird. Oh, I guess I'll share the link one more time in chat. Also, I don't have money for this. Nah, I get you. Plenty of people won't. The box set is a good deal in terms of the individual cost of all the miniatures, though. Because the individual cost comes to $645, but if you buy the box set, it's only $300. So, half off. A little over half off. I don't know. I think the box set's a good deal, and I'm hopeful that the game will be good. The Horus Heresy Mk.II. I'll actually see if I can play this one. It'll be nice. I don't know. I'm interested. I'm excited. I'm curious. Oh, someone joined the Discord, so I assume somebody might want to come on and talk. Yeah, whoever just joined, jump right into call line. I'll pull you in. Oh, that's Bob's son. He was on this. He was on my server before. He must have left. Go on, Mike. All right. Oh, you're okay. Shazo and you are the same. Okay. Jump right in. Call line. It's call line VC is gonna be the only. It's gonna be the only visible VC underneath caller lines. I just kind of scroll up in the chats. Should be right there. Jump into call line. I'll pull you into the stream call. No, there he is. All right. Hey, brother.
Yo, how's it going?
It's going. How you doing today?
It's going good. It's great to speak to you. I've been stalking you since the you were a part of the Adeptus Ridiculous Discord.
Thanks. Appreciate it. Appreciate the stalking. It's always good. It's always good for the heart. All right. So, well, welcome to the VC. What are your thoughts on the new Horus Heresy box set? What's your ideas? What do you think? What do you think about the game? Are you excited for it? Optimistic, or are you a bit more weary?
I would have to say I'm more on the weary side. Credit given where credit's due. Good job on GW actually lowering the prices on a couple of things, but it's still GW, so yeah. I don't trust them to execute this. I'm excited to see this, but I don't trust them in the execution. I would have to actually see more about the lore and stuff like that. But also, this is kind of the worst time for something like this to come out, considering how bad the economy is getting. I mean, my grocery bill went up $100.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, just last time I went to Publix. That's the food chain down here in Florida. So it's like, ooh.
It's not much better where I'm at here in Maine. We went up exponentially in prices, too. And the thing is, inflation is a problem worldwide at the moment, even in Britain. So, but GW, they got a track record. They got a track record of not giving a damn. I mean, keep in mind, during the pandemic, when a lot of businesses and a lot of industries were lowering prices, they were increasing prices.
Yes.
So they have a very extensive history of especially when it comes to their pricing, only ever to be more egregious. So I'm not lowering a couple prices at all for them is to be marked down in a calendar as a holiday, if you ask me. But at the same time, you'll notice that with most of their lines, they've only gone up or stayed the same now that inflation around the world is really going up. And like you said, grocery bills are extremely high, gas prices are immense right now. Yeah, generally we're seeing a very harsh upturn in costs, and we're not seeing a downturn in their individual costs. And it's already a niche hobby that's hard to afford.
Yes. At the risk of sounding like I'm just quoting Archcast here, I feel like GW is trying to market themselves to be more desirable, to be bought out by like Hasbro or some other company than they are trying to be their own company. Because there's a couple of things GW could do that would make themselves just absolutely killers. And like make their own line of 3D printers, create a whole subscription service of buying prints. Yeah. There's like a whole million things that I'm sure you've already rehashed on.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there's a lot they could be doing right now to increase profits and actually be more easily accessible to different audiences. But honestly, yeah, I tend to agree. Though some people call it a conspiracy theory, I think there's a lot of merit to the idea that they're trying to they're trying to baste themselves as much as possible and look as tasty as possible to possible purchasers or investors. So,
Well,
yeah.
you know what a conspiracy theory means, right? Nowadays, a conspiracy theory means that you're going to be proven right in 6 months.
Yeah. I've heard the saying. The difference between a conspiracy theory and fact is 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there's.
Have you ever seen that meme of Alex Jones? And then it's like a whole bunch of crazy shit, and then in the center is like, "You are here," and then all the things he said previously with articles linked to it being proved right.
I always thought that man was psycho, but then a lot of the shit he said has come true, which is kind of freaky.
Yeah, it's like
It's terrifying. Oh god.
Now I'm just thinking about the Alex Jones meme as him as a Grey Knight speaking to a guardsman. Those things always kill me.
Yeah. God damn it.
That has to be how that conversation must seem like if you're a guardsman.
Yeah, talking absolute insanity. It's like, what the fuck are you saying? And then it all comes true. It's like, holy crap. He wasn't full of shit. Oh, man, yeah. Yeah. But outside inflation and costliness, what do you think about some of the leaked rules? Some of the... Well, what do you think about the box set?
Hello, am I still there?
Yeah.
Okay, good. My phone went nuts. I'm gonna have to transfer over to the computer. But back on topic, I'll be truly honest. I think GW could make a very competent game for the Horus Heresy because they've already proven of making a competent game with, well, all of Warhammer and all their previous other titles. The thing that I am most worried about is that the lore has, like this latest lore, you used to have the Emperor as this mysterious being who was the figurehead that led humanity into the stars. And then after what they've done in the last couple of years, everything that he achieved was done by other characters that we just recently heard about. And the Primarchs weren't even created by him. The Space Marines weren't even created by him. Man. He has this really lame name, and he just sits on the throne.
Yeah, it's been extremely frustrating, especially if you've been a fan of the lore for years. And GW have been doing this for fucking ever. Just for as long as I could think of, anyway. Steadily, they have tried their best to change the lore. And the thing is, at first, a lot of it seemed like they were changing the lore for the mythical wider audience, but some of the changes, I would argue, are just... I can't see how it would appeal to a wider audience, even. It doesn't appeal to the current audience. There's just been some really strange changes, and one of those, I would argue, is basically, like what you just said, removing the Emperor's accomplishments and his achievements and what made him such a scaled, godly powerhouse, why you could understand humanity came to worship him. Now the question comes is, why didn't humanity come to worship Erda or Astarte or any of the other people around him who accomplished far more?
Yes.
So it's frustrating because I'd be fine like with one or two reveals, like not the Space Marines for one, like that needs to be the Emperor's accomplishment. Otherwise, I'm sorry, that's just bullshit to take that away from him. Yeah. The Primarchs being a combination of his and Erda's work, I could work with. It's the idea that she's the reason they got yeeted through the warp, and we're completely removing the agency that the Chaos Gods had in that situation. Because that has always been interpreted that moment, like when the Chaos Gods warped all the Primarchs out, that was kind of a 4D chess move that they pulled. Because they were planning on creating the heresy. They were planning centuries, millennia ahead of schedule what the Emperor was, and they just kicked his ass. That was it made them so fucking terrifying, especially when they worked together. when Chaos Undivided was true. But now that it's just Erda who didn't want the Emperor to make them bad, which could go in there. You're such a genius. But not only does it make her character look buffoonish, but it makes the Chaos Gods look like they just got lucky.
Yes.
Which completely robs them of so much gravitas. And it's all this lore change that has really affected, I'm sure, your love of the hobby. I'm sure it's affected a lot of other people's. I mean, a huge portion of the community that love Warhammer love the lore first and got to the miniatures and got to the games after lore. That has always been a big draw for people. So it's been pretty bad watching the degradation.
The miniatures, the reason why they sell is because they have good stories behind them.
Yeah.
If they didn't have good stories behind them, they would just be neat pieces of plastic that you could paint. Because what's the difference between like War Machine and Warhammer? War Machine, in my opinion, had a better rule set, or at least it did before the company kind of just nuked itself with its rules. But that's a whole different topic that I'm not going to go into. And it's just the lore for Warhammer is just so good. There's nothing else like it.
Yeah. And there are some people who are more proud of their Horus Heresy book collections than they are proud of their miniature collections.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Like, the whole reason why I like Vulcan is because he's, like, one of the few people in the entire setting that could be considered an actual good guy. And one of the reasons why I like Gilliman is, despite him being in literally the worst scenario possible for him, he still perseveres. I love the story of the person persevering, regardless of how dark and dismal the situation goes, to be the, what was Solaire's quote, to be so grossly incandescent.
I like that quote.
It's just awesome.
I like it a lot. Thank you for bringing that one up.
Though I do have to admit,
so grossly
if you ever get a chance to listen to the Ghoul Thraka book, it's actually pretty good. There's a couple parts in there that keep it from being a perfect book, like one of the main characters being absolutely incompetent, but I don't want to spoil anything for you, but it is actually pretty good.
Is he a main protagonist or more of a side character?
It is written from Makari's view, the Gretchen that always follows him around in his banner waver.
Yeah.
And it actually does a pretty good job.
I remember when the community got so upset when he died.
Why Makari was out of a couple books of why he keeps on coming in and coming out of the series. So it's only like 4 or 5 hours, which is pretty short for a book. So they do a pretty good job listening to doing it, and they do have an interview with the author on the Adeptus Ridiculous.
Oh, really? Nice. I don't know. I stopped watching their stuff a while back.
It did get a little repetitive.
A little bit, yeah. that was for me. Like, I still think they're cool. I think Bricky's cool. I think DK's cool. So is Shy. But, I just slipped away.
Well, let's be honest. They're kind of resting on their laurels.
Yeah, they are.
But at least a couple of their stuff is still fun to listen to.
Yeah, I recommend Dice Check. I think Dice Check's better.
Oh, yes. I love Dice Check.
Granted, there's like no lore really in Dice. Well, there is a little bit. They have a couple of videos where they go over each faction and lore comes up. But generally speaking, that's where you get miniature games. That's where you get them talking about their time with the game, spending time together, having the hobby time. That's always great to see.
Yeah. Bricky, Matt, and Diamantes, and what's his name? Jonathan, I think, is absolutely fantastic on that show. I honestly think they raised the bar on how battle reports should be shot, because Mini Wargaming was like the only real battle report channel I would watch.
Have you seen Play on Tabletop?
I'm sorry?
Have you seen Play on Tabletop?
No, I have not seen Play on Tabletop.
Let me send you a link real quick, because you might have to rescind that comment.
The best for...
Yes, because Play on Tabletop, they, you know how well edited and all the special effects and stuff that go into like the Super Bowl?
Yes.
Now imagine that for miniatures.
Well, that's one reason. Oh, okay. I'm actually clicking through one of their videos, and they have actual infographics on the screen.
Mm-hmm. They have infographics, and they have animations for the attacks. They're little small stuff. It's not like zoom in and there's like a 3D animated model hops off its base or anything. But they do have like little shot effects, sound effects, gunshots, stuff like that. They go all in.
Incredible now.
They are the pinnacle of. They're what you go to if you want like the pinnacle of battle reports. If you want more of like a hobby feel, I'd say go to Mini Wargaming, Dice Check. You know, they're more like grounded, I'd say, and they feel more like, you know, you're in the room with like another hobbyist. But if you're going for like the spectacle, if you want to feel like high quality, Play on Tabletop, I think wins the day.
From those short things that I've watched on, while we're talking here, Necrons versus Death Guards, their latest video that came out, it's like, you are absolutely right, because that was part of the reason why I loved Dice Check, was because they had the side table, they had the graphics, they had the interviews, they played the Madden theme whenever they could.
Yeah, Play on are that plus more.
Jeez Louise. They even got little tiny explosions.
Oh yeah, if there's an episode, one episode I definitely recommend is you know do you know Mini Wargaming Dan or Dave?
Yes.
Dan, Dave?
Yes.
Yeah,
Mini Wargaming Dave here.
Yeah, he went on there and played against TAC, and it was so much fun. It's a great episode. It's Chaos v Ultras, and it's a fun match. I won't spoil who wins, but they put a bet on because if Mini Wargaming Dave won, he said he'd play Tau.
Oh God!
And if TAC won, he had if Dave lost, he'd have to play Tau. And if TAC won, so if TAC lost, I keep fucking my brain. If TAC lost, he would have to make a T-shirt for the Mini Wargaming crew. It's fun. They play it up throughout the. I definitely recommend watching it. That's probably one of my favorite episodes. But every episode of Play On, when they do a battle report, it's like the pinnacle of battle reports. Again, for the spectacle value.
I will definitely have to check that out. I do love Dave and his hatred of Tau, which is even funnier because I am a Tau player, and I'm so happy that in 9th edition that they got actually viable. Though it seems like every time a new army is released in 9th edition, it becomes horribly broken.
Oh yeah, until the next one comes up.
Yeah, honestly, it was that kind of kept me from actually going to my local store and playing a game, because I was like, I should wait until this game actually gets balanced. And then they had the data slate came out, but I still haven't actually gone to a store and played a game.
Really? Mm-hmm. Oh, even I've done that. Like, I in my 9 years in the hobby, I've played a now total of 9 games.
Oh wow!
So for every year I've played, I've now played 9 games, and most of those were in 9th. A couple of them were during 7th, because I joined at the end of 6th, beginning of 7th, I think. And yeah, I played a couple of 7th edition, and I played one of 8th, and the rest have all been 9th edition. Yeah. Let's see. Archimagos, Reductor Sethrin, Donald93. Welcome, guys.
Now I will date yourself to show you how old I am. I think I started was a little at the tail end of 4th edition, and I got it, and I really started playing it at edition.
Nice.
That's what I was playing.
Yeah,
And that was when
a
I
while
was
back.
still in the Marine Corps. And even then, back then it wasn't too bad because, sure, you still had your broken shit, but it was still fun.
And that's the thing. Warhammer has always, to a degree, been unbalanced. It's when you have see, if we just look at the overarching factions, you got Space Marines, you got Chaos Marines, Chaos Demons, Guard, Tau, Orcs, Drakari, and Eldar. Tyranids, almost forgot Tyranids, that would have been bad. Yeah, those are just, so that's like, fuck, let me recount that. Tyranids, Tau, Orcs, Space Marines, Chaos Space Marines, Guard.
And before anyone asks, no, we're not going to go through every single Space Marine and Chaos Space Marine variant. We do not have all day.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like just overarching factions. There's like 8 or 9 factions, and then when you break it, and that's just overarching. The rules, you have to have a sub faction within the bigger faction of rule sets to work with. So with Space Marines, you got Imperial Fist, you got Black Templar, you got a million and one other choices. You got Chaos Space Marines who also have a lot of divisional options. You got Khorne, Thousand Suns. It's all over the place. Even orcs have multiple clans. Tau. I don't know what the Tau divisionary thing is, to be fair. But
I have a codex in the other room, but I'm too lazy to go grab it.
Well, I'm sure Tau also have sub factions within the greater faction.
Yes, we do have our sub factions now, and some of them are ridiculously good. There is actually a build you can do that will make a commander good in melee, because you can shoot your guns in melee combat, and it gets really funny. It gets really silly, really.
Oh, I bet.
The unfortunately, my wish didn't come true because I was hoping that they would flush out the Kroot more. Maybe add the dinosaur Kroot in there from the Forge World, but they didn't bother. No. Or them actually making Kroot into their own army faction. But the thing that I really want, the thing that I know I will never get, though I wish every year that they would get an announcement, is I would like my Space Skaven. I want my Skaven.
Maybe one day.
Maybe one day.
Optimistically.
There's actually an army of from a I don't want to say knockoff 40K, but it's kind of a knockoff 40K website where they make their own armies and stuff, and that they do have them. And I actually been planning on ordering some of their models, and they look really good.
Nice. I know 3D printing wise, you could definitely get some sci-fi Skaven types. Alright, so it doesn't look like there's anybody else in call line, so you might be the only caller today.
Oh wow, I feel special.
No, I've done. This is the third open mic I've done, so I had to have one that was kind of a dud. And to be fair, this is probably one of those topics where not a lot of people are going to have a lot of thoughts until after the game comes out. But I thought it'd be cool to invite the discussion before everything's all out and people are playing the game proper. Get some.
No, if you really wanted to get the. If you really wanted to get the viewers in, you should have titled the stream of something like Ben Shapiro destroys Amber Heard with facts and logic.
Well, right now, yeah, that'd probably be the only thing that gets a lot of clicks.
Because that's just put in all the stupid tags because it feels like that was the only thing that was being talked about for like the last month.
Yeah, it's been a big part. Oh, we got someone else in the call line. All right. Anything else in terms of the Horus Heresy stuff you'd like to bring up?
Nope. I hope they don't fuck it up. I think they will, and the game looks like fun, and all the models are overpriced. I think that's a good summary.
Yep. That's pretty good a summary. Thank you for coming on, man.
All right, party on.
Yeah. Hope you're excited for more In a Nutshells and other stuff 40k related on the channel now that it's been refocused. All right, pulling up Afiel. Afiel, welcome. How you doing?
Hi.
Having a good day?
Yeah, I just hit the gym like 2 hours before.
Good. So now that you've worked out your body, let's relax your mind with just taking some opinions in. So, what do you think about the new Horus Heresy revision, the Mk.II as I've been calling it? What do you think about that? What do you think about the new box set?
To be honest, about the box set, I made a squad of Mk.VI Assault Marines for my Blood Angels. But I made only one because I thought the Mk.VI is super rare in the Heresy, so there were only one squad that had enough armor of Mk.VI so they can be outfitted with that armor. And now it's like everything is Mk.VI.
Yeah, that seems to be the big sellers right now. Mk.VI and Mk.III.
Yeah, but the thing is, like the Mk.VI I use, they're like from different box sets, like Devastator Squad, Tactical Squad, Assault Squad, so they are a little bit more uniquely posed, at least.
That's cool.
But yeah, I mean, I like the new box set, not for the Mk.VI Marines, because a friend of mine is like, give me the Mk.VI Marines, and I give you the other stuff, and so he wants all the Mk.VI Marines, and I get the second Spartan Assault Carrier and all the Terminators.
Oh, so you guys are going halvesies?
Pardon?
The two of you buying the box together, or are you guys?
No, I bought myself a box, and he bought a box.
Okay.
And he's just, okay, you take the Terminators and the tank, and I take the infantry.
Okay, so you guys are like using them as trading card games.
Yeah, a little bit.
That's cool. Yeah. I mean, I think it's a pretty good deal considering that all that stuff individually is around $645 USD and
something like that.
Yeah, and the box set is $300.
If you compare it, I mean, like Indomitus was also a good deal in that kind of.
I did actually try and do that comparison, but I brought thing is when I brought both up and did the comparison. Actually, the Indominus is a better deal because the Indominus box was $210, a little bit over $210 when it came out in USD, and it has $710 worth of miniatures in it. Whereas the new Age of Darkness Horus Heresy box set is $300, and all of that stuff individually would cost $645.
Yeah, but the thing is with Indomitus, it was like a friend of mine took the Necrons, and I took the Space Marines, so it's like a half deal. And in the Horus Heresy box, I can take everything for my army if I would like to.
Yeah, that's fair.
And that's really funny if you like to play Space Marines. And I mean, it's the box itself feels similarly good to the Burning of Prospery and Betrayal of Karth boxes because I love those boxes. Minus the old Contemptor Dreadnought. Because they were like, you had only Space Marines, you had Custodians. Okay, nice. And you had Space Marines, and it's like I still have bits and parts from that box lying around. So yeah, in I would say in GW standards it's a good box, and I like it for the value. And when you think about my daughter, she plays Inari. I still don't know how that faction actually works, but hey, and she bought herself the. What is this? The Dark Omen box with the Eldar versus Chaos? Or Eldari, or however they are called now. Asuyani or whatever.
Eldar and Eldari are the two I know.
Yeah, there is a new term, Asuriani, like from Warhammer Fantasy, from the old High Elves.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she's like, there were like 5 or 6 Eldar and some Chaos Space Marine in the box, and it was like €150 or something. And when I compare to the Indomitus or the Horus Heresy box, it's just so much better.
Yeah, these box sets are pretty good. I mean, I liked Indomitus a lot, and I like this one as well. But there is a. Let's see, what's supposed to say. I will actually, Donald. I'd say individually, if you bought everything in the Horus Heresy Age of Darkness set, it's closer to $700. Because, 645. I don't know. I guess maybe that's closer to 600. It's still more than 600 though. So
Yeah, and I mean, I bought the box and I got myself the Kratos because it's a little bit of a mean. I like big tanks and I cannot lie.
you like
it's
them
like-
trunks.
It's a beefed up version of my Sicarian tank.
I mean, yeah.
So yeah, just for that box alone, it's awesome. I like it. But what I really would love to see is something like an upgrade kit, because you have this heavy weapons pack and this special weapons pack with Volkite whatever and bolters and assault cannons. And I pray so hard that they make a Mark III, Mark IV and Mark VI pack with assault arms like chainswords, combat fists and bolter like bolt pistol hands and jump packs.
Yeah, I mean, more customization, right?
Yes, just so they did just take, okay, that's a Mark IV box. I buy a box of Mark IV Marines and just punch on the jump packs and say, so that's my assault squad.
And with magnets, it is that easy. Like, off. There we go. It's this set. Take them on, put them on. There we go. It's this set.
Yeah. I mean, I wrote this to GW like 2 times right now. Like give us jump pack boxes.
Calcio just said in the chat, GW, break down your door. Hello, good sir. Have you heard of Space Marines?
Yeah, now I mean the real jump packs. I mean, right now I do some weird conversion for my Heresy army. It's a mix of the Blood Angel's chaplain that's like in this jumping pose, because he has like almost similar proportions to Dominion Zephon. So I smashed together the pieces to make some Scarlet Seraph for my Heresy army.
Nice. Yeah,
that's-
sounds like you're all gung ho for the new Heresy.
Yeah, I mean, I had Sanguinius for years and never really knew how to start painting him, and then it's like Heresy release and it's like, okay, let's kill Horus so Sanguinius doesn't have to die.
That'd be nice. And I think everybody would agree that Sanguinius surviving that would be great, but unfortunately,
Actually,
sad face.
that was some weird hint on the community homepage. Maybe I read too much into it, but they wrote this typical stuff about this is Sanguinius, he comes from blah 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 and this and that, and there are always this little like 1 star, 2 stars, 3 stars, and then you have like this little narration point on the bottom part of the article, and there's something like, with all this in combination, Sanguinius surely will survive the heresy. And I was just, is this a mockery or are they retconning or something like that?
I think that's a mockery, because that's a retcon. No, as much as the community would be like, "Yay, Sanguinius is alive," they would also be like, "Fuck, they're changing the lore again." And that's like that's a pretty big lore event. Sanguinius' death. I mean, literally the most iconic art piece of all of Warhammer 40,000 is that art piece where the Emperor is standing over Horus is standing over Sanguinius' dead body and his broken blade, looking at the Emperor, ready to go down, take him down as well.
Yeah,
But that is the most iconic art piece in all of 40k. If maybe the only other piece I could think of that'd be more iconic is the Emperor's corpse on the Golden Throne.
Yeah, or maybe some really old edition, the Black Templars cover art piece, that super old one. I mean, to be honest, always when I think about that artwork, somehow Emperor's text-to-speech device comes into my mind, like, never talk shit about my fabulous fucking Hawkboy. But yeah, I mean, after Gilliman and his space waifu elder magic stuff, I wouldn't say it's impossible that GW goes just, okay, the Silent King talked about Sanguinius, he does some chrono stuff, and then Sanguinius is back and has a Necron spear.
A Necron spear?
in some like short novel or audiobook, Dante and when Captain Tycho was still alive, they fought against Necrons, and then were some Tyranids coming, and the Silent King had a mask that looked like Sanguinius' face and whispered something into Dante's ear. And then I thought, like, oh god, they will make some chronometrics time stuff with Necrons and bring Sanguinius back with that stuff, because space magic alien stuff.
Actually, this does bring up a thing, and as opposed to a retcon, wouldn't it be cool if GW? It's just popped in my head, and I actually really like the idea, and I may or may not be biased because it popped in my head, but wouldn't it be a cool idea that now that they're making a Horus Heresy game Mk.II, what if they made an alternate timeline story?
I mean, there were some really cool alternate timeline stories. There was one that was like...
I know there's a lot of them made by the community though, and not...
Yeah, was it the Daunian Heresy or something?
Yes, that's one of my favorite. That's one of my favorite. This is why fanfiction for me in the sphere is so important. That's why I have a whole series on my channel called the Homebrew Highlight Series. I love it when fans come up with their own stories. It's a beautiful thing because sometimes it's kind of funny stuff like the Angry Marines, like the Angry Boys. That stuff's funny, but then you have like the Dornian Heresy, which in my opinion is some peak fan fiction. Like it is such a beautifully written idea, and it's very loyal to the existing characterization up to that point in the break between that and the canon. So I don't know. I definitely, this is one of those things where I'm all aboard for like fan fictions and stuff.
I mean, just because you said Angry Marines, why? I mean, I don't have the Primaris bits lying around, but just take the boot from a Primaris Marine, punch it on a normal Space Marine, and just make the power boot.
Why not?
It's just awesome. I hope they don't screw the Heresy up, but from what I've seen so far, it's just more like a streamlining, mostly, from what I have seen. And maybe this time the psychic phase isn't as clunky as in the last edition.
I mean, I never got to play the Heresy tabletop before this Mk.II. This is obviously, and that's another thing to bring up, is the idea that a huge part of them bringing back the Mk.II, that's what I've been calling it, the Horus Heresy Mk.II, is the revitalization of it. Because now that they've made a big animated spectacle about it, literally with an animated cinematic, with a 3D animated cinematic advertising it. They've had a lot. They put up that like a website where you could like where you put in for a survey to find out what legion you are, which by the way is completely inaccurate because it said I was Emperor's Children. I'm offended, and I declare heresy upon that survey. But regardless, they put a lot into this to really revitalize it, and there's a lot of people like myself, I think, who have been like strictly 40k. Who've from that, like from the gameplay and from the lore and stuff like that, outside of maybe reading the Horus Heresy, that have never engaged in the Horus Heresy tabletop.
Yes.
And there's probably a lot like me that with this revitalization they're bringing on board, now a lot of us who've been kind of ignoring it or not thinking about it are now curious about it. So, I don't know.
And that's a part, and also it's like I like the more a little bit hard gameplay in the Heresy, because the Heresy in comparison to like 9th edition, in 9th edition is just how many 4+ savings and how many mortal wounds I can spam. And in the Heresy it was a little bit more tactic, because you had more issues to kill something big. When it's like, yeah, try in the 9th edition you can take some laser guns and shoot something down that makes no sense, but in 9th edition you couldn't laser gun or bolter down some big beefy tank or something. And that's one part of it. And I really like the Heresy, and to be honest, a good thing about the Heresy 2.0 is that 3 friends of mine, they quit playing 40k with Primaris releases, because they're like, okay, I don't want to buy my entire range again, see ya. Yeah. And now they've seen, and they are more fans of Firstborn Marines, and now they've seen new Firstborn Marines, old tanks, and one of my friends, he was an Iron Hand player, and he had like 3 Spartan assault carriers, 3 Land Raider Prometheus, and he was all in on tank armies with Iron Hands. and now he returns and says, "Okay, yeah, I do tanks."
Archmagos Reductor Sethrin just said, let me actually he said a couple things earlier. I think I missed it. I apologize, man. Well, he just said Psychic is now shit and reactions are utterly broken to the point that you have to rewrite it completely.
Oh boy.
Again, I didn't play what it was before, so I can't comment. What about you, though?
I mean, to be honest, I've only seen Psychic face in the Heresy once, and that was because the enemy player was a Thousand Suns player.
And I don't know. I haven't. I skimmed the leaks that I've seen about the Horus Heresy game that's coming out. I don't know. Magos, would you be able to come on? That way, I guess I can ask you questions about it. But in the meantime, I can only go based on the minimal knowledge I have, both of what it was before and now with this Mk.II. But there's another question Shazo had, which is, do you think GW is edging toward replacing current 40k with Horus Heresy? Or Horus Heresy is what he said.
In the last few weeks, it was always hearsay.
Wait, what?
No, I don't know. Now I watched the JD trial, and everything is hearsay.
Oh, okay. I didn't know you were referencing. I was confused.
No, it's just like it's also with GW. With GW, it's also hearsay. I don't know if they want to replace 40k. I would say if they just make like Firstborn Marines yet a little bit better now with the Mark 6 releases, maybe that would mend some wounds they opened. And maybe some releases like some super old miniatures that are still lying around and need a rework.
As for me, I don't think that they're gonna replace 40k with Horus Heresy.
Maybe they put in some work into Horus Heresy this time, because the last time it was just like, yeah, they are like in the hobby club there's like 30 or 40k players, 5 Age of Sigma, and there's this Heresy dude.
I mean, that's pretty much what my local hobby store is. There's a ton of us that play 40k. And I think there's 2 people who... actually, fun fact. I know this is kind of a tangent, but fuck it, my stream. At my local hobby store, the hobby store is brand new, the one I'm talking about. There's another one I've been going to for years, but they're kind of closing down because of the pandemic. They didn't get any business, so it's sad and very sad. It's the same one that I got a huge discount in the Indominus box, but... I don't know, they can't afford to keep it open anymore. But the new hobby store that opened up a year ago now, mid-pandemic, they're doing pretty good because they went all in. The store is pretty big. They have a huge collection of 40k. They have a huge amount of Sigmar there. They have a huge amount of bolt action, and they sell a lot of different paints. So it's a really nice place, and they got a lot of tables. They got a lot of tables to play at. And they've just recently started hosting 40k games. Their 5th one ever was last week, and I participated in the 2nd one they ever did, and the 3rd and 4th. I just missed out on this last one, and it's been a ton of fun going to their tournaments. But I know one Monday, which was the day after one of our tournaments at 40k, which by the way we sold out all tickets. Like everybody was there. We used every table. There was about over 20 of us. It was over 20 of us playing games, and each of us got to play 3 games with different people. We came in. I went into the store a little after that tournament just to pick up some paints, and I asked him. I said, "Hey, I noticed you guys hosted a Age of Sigmar tournament the day after we did our 40k tournament. How'd that go?" And both store owners just put their hands, both their hands on their face, and they were like, "Ugh." What happened? He went, nobody showed up. We sold 6 slots. None of the 6 people showed up. I'm like, wait.
I mean,
really?
it's Age of Sigma. I mean, I played like 2 or 3 games of Age of Sigma because I can back then I could use my high elves because I played them as Order Draconis because I always was a geek for Kalidor. And then they said, yeah, now they aren't the thing anymore, so haha, have fun. And then I was just, okay, drop Age of Sigmar.
Yeah, it's it's interesting. There are people who play Sigmar, but there are very few of them, and apparently they're super antisocial because 6 people registered to show up for that tournament, and none of them did. So like I find that interesting. It could have been a case of like there was a prank registry, like they were like, oh, we'll come, and then they didn't, and it was people who didn't actually play Sigmar, and they just fucked around. Or they really were Sigmar players, but all 6 of them were like too scared to go or something. Like, I don't know, it was weird.
Maybe I'm too old for this, but why would I pay money for a ticket just to prank someone?
I don't know. People are kind of weird nowadays. I've seen some people go really far to prank somebody else. Usually though, it's because of media clout. Like, if I'm not gonna lie, like, usually it's social media horse.
To be honest, my daughter showed me some TikTok video, and there was just like some young boys from my town, and they were like running around and stealing this the disinfectant sprayers in every building, and just stealing them for no apparent reason. And then they showed a picture of their own like room at home, and they had like this glowing like billboard of a subway, and they stole it somewhere and punched it on the wall in their room. And I was just like, what the fuck? And I said to my daughter, when you would do something, my first question is, where did you get that, and bring it back. But that's just, I would say, a case of bad parenting.
Yeah, I'd say that's bad parenting. But that's the thing. A lot of people, a lot of younger people nowadays, I guess. I can't speak too much. I'm only 22, but I don't know. I was raised in an 80s household in terms of with 80s technology in the early 2000s. Like, I was raised by good parents on a farm. I was taught the value of work and work ethic. I was taught the value of respect and respecting elders. And yeah, I had a lot of principles and teachings nailed into my skull. And I also, had to grow up faster than most because of, things in my childhood. And then I see kids nowadays who are only like a couple years younger than me. In some cases, they're the same fucking age as me. Or in the case of like Logan and Jake Paul, we all know who they are.
Oh boy.
When they're older than me, and they act like a third my age, or I guess I act 3 times their age, whatever you want to say, however you want to phrase it. I don't know. I find it weird every time I look around, like around my age group, and I just see all this buffoonery. I'm not saying I don't want to sit here and pretend I'm above it. I'm above, like, I am above a lot of what they do, though. Like, as much as that might sound egotistical, I am above a portion of it. Like, I would never eat a fucking Tide Pod. I'm not gonna lick a toilet seat and put it on TikTok.
No.
I'm not gonna take ice cream out of a store freezer, open it, put my hand in it and lick it, and then put it back in the freezer. Some of the things people, again, around my age do freaks me out. It's like, how am I even... How y'all act so fucking childish. Yeah, and it really does come down to parenting, I think. Like, I was raised by a parent...
It's a big part of parenting. It's just like the same with... I'm not a big fan of food wastage. And when you see some people, like, they buy some burger or something, they just eat some parts and throw away the rest. And it's like most of my youth, I grew up with my grandfather, and he was a hunter, and so he took me hunting, and he showed me how to hunt and how to, like, prepare something that you shot. And so this is maybe a reason why I'm a bit more cautious with food.
Yeah.
But when you see some people out there, they're like, yeah, I just bought a burger. Away with the pickle, away with the bread, just eat the meat, and the rest is into the trash. Yeah, I don't get it.
Chazo actually said a pretty good statement. There's a difference between growing older and growing up. I suppose that's true. I guess I'm a case of growing up, and they're a case of growing older, but not growing up. I don't know. And I lament people my own age or slightly older. Most of the time. Anyway, back on topic. That was a tangent. Well, yeah. So I guess we pretty much covered everything. You said you like the box. Would you say you're optimistic for the game, the Mark II?
I would say if the company isn't GW, so I'm positively cautious.
I suppose that's the best we can do, huh?
Yeah, but the thing is, there are good signs. So like a Spartan assault tank, Cataphracti Terminators, First I thought like Mark III and Mark IV armor is going away, and it's like no, you just get a box with 20 guys in one box. So that's also okay. It was just repackaging, and to be honest, the idea that you have weapon upgrade kits opens the window for other upgrade kits, and that would be something really nice.
That would be nice. Miniature-wise, for sure.
Yeah, like just imagine something like a pack of melee special weapons, and you have like Mark 3, 4, or 5, or something, lightning claws or power fists.
Oh, I can picture it. That'd be cool. I like I love modularity myself.
Yeah, and something like when you think about it, the Mark 6 jump pack that looks a little bit like the Raptor jump pack from the old Chaos Raptors would be also kind of neat.
Yeah. So, cautiously optimistic.
Cautiously,
and you like the box
cautious
set.
and positive. Yeah, I like the box set. I mean, mostly for the Terminators because I am a fan of something stomping or jumping.
I get that. All right,
It's
well,
like a 40k army. It's like only jump marines or heavy intercessors.
a whole army of just heavy engines. That'd be interesting to see, actually.
No, it's just like 3 squads of heavy intercessors, and the rest is like sanguinary guard, assault veteran assault squads, assault marines. So the army jumps or stomps.
Oh, I have one last question for you before we wrap up our convo. And I'm gonna start asking this to everybody now that I'm thinking about it. It was brought up earlier. So you know how on GW's main store now they've just started advertising like the Primarch models that were on Forge World, and they're like Citadel Finecast.
Yeah, and the decal sheets, they're also from Forge World to
Yeah,
GW.
and a lot of people apparently think they're new models.
Yes.
What do you think about that?
I mean, it was funny on Saturday when I was in my local store to order some stuff because we have like one of the best GW shopkeepers ever. Really, that guy is just like, yeah, most of the parts he's trying everything for the community and work as much so that everyone has fun and has community events and stuff like that. So he's a really cool dude. And when I walked in there were like so many guys like, I ordered some Horus Heresy box, and yeah, I finally got a Logger miniature. And I said like, that Logger miniature is like old as fuck. And he's like, what? And then like, just go to Forge World. And he's so, what? What is Forge World? And I said, oh god.
Oh my god! You would think most 40k fans know about Forge World. It's not.
Yeah,
it's been there forever.
Were like 5 or 6 boys. They were like somewhere between 12 and 14, and they all bought the Heresy box set, and they were all like, "Oh yeah." I mean, 3 of them were Ultramarines, and I was a bit cringe because Space Werfs. Yeah, okay. But they were like, "Oh, that Gilliman looks cooler than the old one because the base, they like the base design a little bit more like from the base, and like this marble pillar behind him and stuff."
Yeah.
And some of the Primarchs just are so cool looking. And there was, with these younger boys, there was one guy who I said, okay, that one has good taste because he bought himself to his starter box a Lehman Russ. I can understand Space Viking werewolves. I can understand that one.
Yeah, I can too. I'm very biased on that one though. Well, thank you, thank you very much for coming on, man. Much appreciated conversation, and thank you for your takes, especially since you're a Horus Heresy player previously. So I appreciate it, man.
I mean, I hoped that's the most important. I hope there will be more players because in my Heresy it was like 4 people.
Well, I have no doubt that at the very least, when the game comes out, there will be a resurgence. But it's just a matter of, will the rule sets and everything be refined enough to hold on to players? That's a big thing right now. It's a big thing.
There's like one question that you could maybe bring up someday. What will be with the Shattered Legion or the Agent of Mk.II? Because that's the only thing where I had nothing on the radar with Heresy 2.0. Like Tyler's and Garrow and stuff like that, because I really love that books.
Yeah. Actually, no, it's not bad. Not a bad idea. Another day. I'll say another day.
Yes. Yeah.
Thank you, though. Thank you for going on, man.
See ya.
Everyone. That's nobody else in the call line. So, how long have we been going for? About an hour and a half. About an hour and a half. We've had some connectivity. Oh, I don't know. We're getting another connectivity issue right now. Yeah, this is so weird. This happened with the FF streams too. Alright, we've been going for about an hour and a half, so I'm gonna call it here. Thank you guys so much for. Don't forget Black Shields. Demons are also gone from Ally Matrix. Wait, what? Okay. Well, I gotta go. But thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully we'll have another mic after the game comes out and people are officially buying models and playing games. And once the game starts getting played, we'll see how people like it. And hopefully we'll see a healthy resurgence. Archmagos is already laid out in the chat here. I've only caught here and there. My apologies, man. But it definitely looks like he's already limiting its incoming arrival. I'm hoping it's good, but it's GW. It's GW. Cautiously. The most optimistic you can be with any of their shit is cautiously. But thank you guys so much for hanging. Before you guys leave, make sure to leave a like, and I'll catch you guys another time. Bye-bye. Also, I'm working on a new In a Nutshell, so keep that in mind as well.